down to that back double section. Coming into the little bit of our front, into that triple. Shockley up to the 2 now. Randy Sides to the 3. McIsaac shuffles his way down just a little bit. So Shockley jumps off track now. Randy Sides in that 2 spot as those two battle the double over that back there with 11:15 to go. 3:45 to, oh no! I look down at the computer, I look up, Randy's upside down, Justin's upside down. And that's going to mean Zach McIsaac goes back to that bump position. Didn't see what happened there, but hopefully if it was contact, that's all been sorted out and cleaned up. So Austin starting to pull away a little bit from the rest of the field, but it's Austin, Zach, Randy, Justin Shockley, Julian, Danny, Eric, and Evan Sides. The running order in this one as 2, 3, and 4 in that back section of the track right now. Julian starting to reel him in as well. But we go back to your leader. He's on that left-hand side in that all-white TLR buggy, heading over the 3 blind Mice Hill. Spec tire might not be the best tire this weekend. We know that. The idea with the spec tire is everybody is on the same tire. It's a tire that could work through multiple track conditions and could work throughout a longer weekend, especially as the wear starts to go up a little bit. And so we understand it may not be the fastest tire or the best tire this weekend, but we believe it was the best fit for the entire weekend. And Austin Azure out in front. Randy and Zach in a good little battle, though, for that bump position 2 and 3 with 5:15 down, 9:45 to go. As they head into the left side of the track. Up into that twisted 6. Randy a little bit sideways. He'll have to short that last one, where Zach does not, as they head on the right-hand side. 5:30 down, 9:30 to go. Austin, Randy, Zach, Justin, and Danny, your top 5. Julian, Eric, and Evan, the rest of the running order. So Shockley now out. Oh, Eric Phillips and Shockley's body getting me confused just a little bit. So, Eric, you will have leaders on you shortly. Once they catch it, just a wide racing line. If they're not there yet, no pressure, no issues. Oh, Randy clips the pipe just, somehow. That was a nice little board slide across that pipe. Gets it back underway. Zach going to close the gap just a little bit, though. 6:15 down, 8:45 to go. So your leader, Austin Azure, racing out there with Danny, coming in that right-hand side of the track, but he has a pretty good advantage. So we're keeping an eye on that bump battle through the middle. Randy pulling away from Zach just a little bit as we're going to start to get into our fuel stop window here with 6:45 down, 8:15 to go. 6:45 down, 8:15 to go. There's Eric and Justin's car together. I see now one has pink in the back, one has pink in the front. Oh, Randy rolls it over a little bit, coming onto the straightaway. And Zach trying to chase him in the 3. And it looks like Shockley is in for fuel. Randy into the twisted 6. Zach following him in as well. So fuel stops are underway. With 7:30 down, 7:30 to go, we are halfway home in this one. Randy will stay out. Zach will come in for fuel. Eric Phillips coming in for fuel. Julian St. Marie also in for fuel. So your leader over that, boosting it over that little triple. Beautiful downside there on that one. As he heads into the left-hand side of the track now. Working his way over 3 Blind Mice Hill. Your bump position in for fuel. And out and underway. So Zach now coming across the line. We know Zach already in for fuel, so that gap's going to close just a little bit now. Next up is regular e-buggy. I'll have a couple of minutes in between maybe because some of those guys were race corner race in that regular, the spec e-buggy to regular e-buggy. So I will have a couple minutes before I release those cars for race number 5. As we stay with your leader, best battle on the track is Zach, Julian, and Justin Shockley. Let's see if we can find that battle on the track. They're over 3 Blind Mice Hill. Right there is Zach and Julian. That's the battle for third right now. Heading into that back big booter there. The cars almost feel like they stall out in the air. Zach currently running that 2. Randy Sides in the 2, rolls it over. So Zach in the 3 and Julian in the 4 going to start to close that gap a little bit with 5:15 to go. There's that one little pothole coming out of that back left corner. It does upset the buggies ever so slightly. As we're watching the battle for 3 and 4. In the center of the field, Eric right in between that battle. Eric going way wide. Thank you, Eric. Randy in the 2, not too far up ahead of those guys with 4:45 to go, though. So 3 and 4 into that sweeper. Randy Sides upside down in the back section of the track. There it is. It's a 3-car battle now for the bump position. Zach actually gets into Randy as he was up getting corner-marshaled. So there we go into the Twisted 6. We have a 3-car battle for the bump as this Austin Azure out in front. Then Randy, Zach, Justin, or Julian, Justin, Danny, Eric, and Evan. Oh, Randy rolls it over again. Go ahead and drive it to the end, Randy, and fall back in line. There we go. So Julian St. Marie now to the bump position with 4 minutes to go. We have all the fuel stops done. Now it's just straight racing for these final 4 minutes. Driver's got to catch the nerves. It's been a minute since Randy's been on a nitro stand, feeling those nerves. Julian, the youngster, I believe, out of Montana. Zach in that 3 spot. Randy now in the 4. Julian starting to pull away from those guys a little bit. Not what they want to hear with 3:30 to go. It's Austin, Julian, Zach, Randy, Justin, Danny, Eric, and Evan. Your running order in this one. Julian, Zach, and Randy still the best battle on the track with 3:20 to go. Julian St. Marie, oh, big stretch there to get it over that final triple or final double out of the Twisted 6. Almost comes up short with 3 to go. We're keeping it. Oh, Julian upside down. Zach going to go to the inside. He'll take over that bump position now. Zach to the 2. Julian to the 3. Randy right there waiting for something to happen to capitalize in that 4. Zach drifting it out a little bit wide there. Down the straightaway they go. 2 and 3 in a battle for that bump position. Some of these bump position battles are the best we will see all weekend. And right now, we got 2:30 to go. So after 12 and a half minutes there, side by side, Julian right back to the inside of Zach. Oh, Zach goes way deep into that final Twisted 6 jump. Zach drifting it out now. Randy right there. So we got a 3-car battle with 2:15 to go coming into the straightaway. Austin Azure is out in front, but he's kind of checked out, ready to put these guys a lap down. So now we got a 3-car battle heading into that sweeper section. Up over that left-handed jump.
2 minutes left.
With 2 minutes to go. Danny Jolliffe, be aware you will have leaders on you. They're not there yet. Just wanted you to be aware. Oh, Randy tumbling and stumbling. Goes upside down. Zach tumbling and stumbling as well. Then drives away from the marshal just a little bit. So Julian starting to pull away with 1:45 to go. Julian hanging onto that bump position. Your leader, Austin, is in the all-white TLR with the red stickers, just absolute railing out in front. But we keeping an eye on Julian, Zach, and Randy sides with 1:15 to go. So should be 2 to 3 laps left for these drivers. They're scheduled to go 24 laps. We've completed 21 on lap 22 right now. Julian in the back section of the track. Zach with another mistake. Zach, I'll have to have you hold once we can do the drop down. Go ahead and do the drop down, and then I'll have you park it for a quick second.
1 minute
That
left.
was too much of an advantage. Okay, go ahead. There we go. That was too much of a track cut advantage there for without any sort of weight. So Randy will go by for the 3, but that's going to give Julian a pretty big cushion. Then Randy rolls it over. So he'll fall back to the 4, Zach back to the 3, as Julian continues to try to roll away with this one. With 35 seconds to go. So Julian's going to get by for one more lap. I believe the other 2 will as well, so they're going to keep him honest at least. And we'll keep an eye on that. As we go with your leader here with 10 seconds to go. Master clock has expired. Race him to the line. Drivers, race him to the line. When you cross the line, your B main bump effort has concluded. And Julian now coming across the line here. He will take that second and final bump position, as he does. And then Austin Azure out on an extra additional lap there, so he's going to get the win. And he'll be car 11 in the main. With Zach McIsaac coming across in the 3, and Randy, that jump right there just got him all run long. And he'll come across in the 4, and that will be a race. All right, I need my top 3 drivers, Austin, Julian, and Zach, to find a scales. Joe, you want to tech the top 3? So top 3 drivers, mechanics, if you could get your vehicles over to Joe Scales for a tech. That's Julian St. Marie, Austin Azure, and Zach McIsaac. I need all 3 of those drivers to go through tech. Inspection. Just waiting on the okay for the top drivers to get the thumbs up from Joe there on the bumps. And then I will finalize that one. Great little battle. That was fun all the way to the end for your Spec Tire Nitro Buggy. We're going to go into our E-Buggy B main, and then I believe we have a 30-minute break where we will sweep the track, water the edges again potentially. Track looking pretty good so far. We'll see what these guys with Tire Choice, how their cars look. Going to get a little dusty throughout the day today, but hopefully with a little bit of a breeze kind of pushing through it, just keeps that dust moving off the track surface. Hold for me, please. Track is not open yet. Race 5 track's not open yet. Joe, are we good on the top three?
The race is complete.
All right, so Austin Azure and Julian St. Marie will take the bump. You will join the Spec Tire Nitro Buggy A main in race number 9. Race number 9, you guys will be in race number 9 with those vehicles.
Up next, race number 5. E-Buggy.
So I'll get my marshals back to the track, though. Those guys will go get their cars down. Austin Azure on the 6, Julian on the 2, Zach the 3, Randy on the 8, Justin on the 5, Danny the 4, Eric Phillips on the 7, and Evan Sides on the 1. Even though you didn't run, I do need you to marshal. Plus 1 volunteer on the 9. I will need everybody to come out to the track to marshal. Plus 1 volunteer for the day on the 9. I need 1 volunteer on the 9. I'm going to say it again because it's going to be coming out a whole bunch in this one. I'm going to need 1 volunteer marshal on the 9. All right, race number 5, track is yours. Race 5, track is yours.
Eric Olson. Matthew McCorkle. Andy Mace. Zach McIsaac. One minute to the start of the race. Connor Warren.
All right, reminder, after we do our bump, so guys can get ready for the A mains, there is a 30-minute break following this race. So my Spec Tire E-Buggy guys, A main 1, you guys are not going to be up yet. We're going to let the guys who are running the same chassis in this one get those cars back, cool down, batteries charged. So there is a 30-minute break following this race here where we'll do some track work, start to get some more of that dust back off.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
I need my marshals out, please. My marshals out for my Spec Tire, guys. I am going to start calling your guys' names out. Bucket 3 should be Zach McIsaac. I need a volunteer for Zach McIsaac. Zach will reward you financially if you can volunteer for Zach on Bucket 3. All right, looks like, Zach, you owe Nate potentially
less than 5.
A beer there or something.
Alligator.
Adult beverage, I should say. Matt Nemi, are we going to run this one? Okay. And then the 8 of Randy Sides. Randy Sides, or a volunteer for Randy on the 8. Austin Azure should be on the 6, which is back corner by the WERC feather flag. Randy 8 is up front here. And then I got my coverage. Perfect. Thank you for the volunteer on the 9. All right, it's going to be Zach McIsaac on the 1. This 2 spot is going to be empty with Matt Nemi there. Andy Mace, you're going to be on the 3. Heath Nave on the 4. Eric on the 5. Mike on the 6. Connor the 7. Kaylee, you're on the 8. Matt McCorkle on the 9. All right, drivers, this race cannot be won in this first corner, but it sure can be lost. So let's keep these races clean. And let's have some fun here in a 10-minute battle for the E-Buggy Triple A mains. Quarter marshals ready. Drivers ready. Racing less than 5. Clean little start as they come over 3 Blind Mice Hill and into that backside. Now we're going to go into the Twisted 6. Good clean start. So this is a race here in race number 5 for your E-Buggy for a chance at those triple 10-minute runs a little bit later today. Couple of tight 180 spots. It does get a little tight in a few corners, even though the lanes are 12 to 14 feet wide everywhere you go. It feels like it's about 3 foot wide when you're standing on the driver's stand. But work together. We are racing, not just driving anymore. Zach McIsaac out in front. He's been in a lot of these lower mains. We've been calling his name a whole bunch so far. Let's see if he can take one the distance here with 9 minutes to go. Down the straightaway, he goes 38-0 that time by 36-3. Or excuse me, 36-3 for Zach. So Zach, Andy, Heath, Eric, Mike Smith, your top five. Kaylee, Connor, Matt McCorkle, Matt Nemi, and Jason Hunt. Oh, Eric Olson absolutely comes to an abrupt stop there on the exit of the Twisted Six and slams the pipe. Eric currently running in that fourth position with a little bit of work to do here. So McIsaac still out there leading him around, coming into this tricky little jump section. It's a bending horseshoe that goes away from the drivers, and then each little twist has a double built into it. That is a lot to work. Oh, so Andy gets back by Heath there. Heath was up to that 2 spot, and now he'll go back by Andy. Andy takes it deep out into the fluff there. Now Heath right back on his wing. As those two drag race down the straightaway for that bump position. Andy shorts that double just a little bit. So he lets Heath stay in there. Thank you, Matt. Well done, Matt. Great job letting the leaders by there. Perfectly done. Oh, upside down goes Andy on the exit of the Twisted Six as they go back into that big floating double. And down the little drop down now on the right-hand side of the track. McIsaac out in front. He's got a 7-second advantage on the rest of the field. Once again, 30-minute break following this race. 30-minute break following this race. As we'll get the track blown off or swept and those edges watered again. Try and do our best to keep the dust down. Heath with a little bit of a mistake, and now he's going to have a tough time seeing that car in that position. He needs a little bit of help to get back onto the track. He does himself, but that's going to put Andy back up at that spot. We still got lots of racing left. More than a qualifier to go. 6:15 to go in this one. Eric starting to close in on 2 and 3, though. As Zach with a 5.5-second advantage continues to stretch it out. Heath keeps going wide in that one corner there, causing me all sorts of problems. Right at the loop on the other lane. Good little battle, though, for your bump position still ongoing. Andy floats it over the top. Matt or Mike, you'll have leaders on you here shortly in that blue and red car when he catches you. So your bump position there down the straightaway in the 2. Your 3 car of Heath coming down the straightaway right now as well. Oh, McIsaac rolls it over on the blind hill there. Caution coming into the Twisted Six. So let me see how this plays out. That puts Andy Mace out in front now. As they go over that back double. They're going to have Kaylee and Matt. You're going to have leaders on you here shortly. Thank you, Hannah. Oh, Andy puts it into the pipe. Zach will corner him and say, hey, as payment, I'm going to go ahead and take this top spot. And he does. Down the straightaway they go. Cars looking like they really do pretty well here. Good forward drive still. Potentially a little slide in all the corners if they carry the momentum in. But overall, the buggy's looking really hooked pretty well out there. When they have tire choice, Connor's going to come across, get caught on my line there. He'll get a long lap, but he's kind of out on his own, so we'll just let that one go. Zach down the straightaway in the 1. Andy in the 2. Got to fall back a little bit to Heath now. Oh, Andy's going to roll it over, though. He's going to try and let that gap between him and Heath close down a little bit. Heath and Eric Olson in the 3 and 4. They are pushed back a little ways. Uh-oh. Andy needs a deep breath here, as that's back-to-back corners with mistakes. And just about the 3 in a row there. So here comes Heath, and here comes Eric Olson, 3 and 4. Going to try and make that thing interesting with 3:30 to go. Andy and Heath. Oh, Heath goes way wide. Or Andy goes way wide out there as they come down the straightaway. 2 and 3 together. Oh, Andy clips the pipe just a little bit. Heath does as well, so they stay in that position. And Andy's going to short that double, and then he's going to go way out wide. So it's mistake with mistake, synchronized mistakes happening right now in your E-Buggy B main. With 7:15 down, 2:45 to go. 7:15 down, 2:45 to go. Zach McIsaac has pulled away from the rest of the field once again. He's got a pretty good cushion right now, 15-second advantage. So we're going to stay with this battle for 2 for 3. After Zach, Heath, Andy, Eric, and Connor, your top 5. Michael Smith running 6th. Then Kaylee, Matt Nemi, and Jason Hunt, the rest of the running order in this one. Oh, Heath jumping off track right there. It's going to give Andy a little bit of breathing room with 2:15 on the race clock.
Two minutes left.
With 2 to go. And this one, this is your open tire E-Buggy B main right now. Oh, Andy with a mistake. Jumps off in the twisted 6 section, comes back into the race line. But now, once again, here comes Heath and here comes Eric. We're going to try and make this a 3-car battle just yet. Matt, you'll have leaders there with you. Oh, and Andy clips the pipe coming down the hill. He go out way wide. Here comes Heath now. Andy, Heath, and Eric down the straightaway. 3-car battle with 1:20 to go. Zach McIsaac with a 24-second advantage on the field right now. Caution on the sweeper jump. Caution on the sweeper jump. Stay inside. Cleared.
1 minute left.
1 minute to go. Oh, Andy goes way wide out there. Heath now closing in. Eric just plodding along, trying to stay up with these guys and put the pressure on him. And be waiting it should they contact with 42 seconds to go. I would assume if we have clean laps, these guys should get by for one more. Oh, Heath rolls it over, though. That is not a clean lap. So Eric falls out of that battle. So now it's just going to be Andy and Heath. Andy into that back jump section with 17 seconds on the clock. I don't know if where he's at on the track, if he's going to get by here with 10 seconds to go. It is going to be close, or is Andy? Oh, behind you, Nate, behind you, and that is going to seal the deal for Heath as he rolls it over. So Andy's going to get by for a little bit of that victory lap celebration, and McIsaac is going to go wire to wire here and hold on to one finally, and he'll find his way into the Triple A's for your E-Buggy division. Race him to the line, drivers. Race him to the line. Caution at the end of the straightaway. Caution at the end of the straightaway. And so Andy will get the bump, and he'll find his way into the Triple A's as well. Okay. Heath Heath Nave to timing and scoring. Heath to timing and scoring, please. Heath to timing and scoring. Heath Nave to timing and scoring, please.
The race is completed.
So Zach McIsaac and Heath Nave will end up with the bump positions there. There'll be a race 10, 14, and 18. We'll do our best to give time between regular e-buggy and spec tire e-buggy throughout the week. We are now in a 30-minute track delay.
Up next, race number 6. Spec tire e-buggy.
And then we will go into
1 minute.
race number 6. A-Main drivers, reminder, A-Main drivers, please go to registration and pick up your car numbers. A-Main drivers, they are not the normal car numbers. We have a A-Main qualifier sticker and A-Main specific stickers. If you are in an A-Main or bumped into an A-Main, please head to registration and get yourself those A-Main car numbers. We still have a bunch, guys. We spent a little money to get those extra unique car numbers and the A-Main qualifier stickers. If you could please go over and pick up your envelope for your main. All A-Main drivers, please head over and pick up your A-Main car numbers and your A-Main qualifier stickers. There should be an envelope with your race and position on it. So if all A-Main drivers can make sure to pick those up before your main, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, drivers. Spectire E-Buggy A-Main number 1. You guys are scheduled to be on the track at 10:25 a.m. 10:25 a.m. 25 minutes from now. 10:25 a.m. All right, we're about 4 minutes away from getting back started again. Our next break is at 12:30. That's when we will draw all of our raffle prizes. So as everybody's cleaning up this morning, in about 2 hours, we'll draw all those raffle prizes. We got some cool stuff with the One Army Choose a Part of Your Choice. A couple of batteries, servos from Tekin, etc. Not a lot of people buying tickets, understandably, but that means your chances are better to win something. So $1 a ticket or 25 tickets for $20. We're going to draw that at the next break, the major break of 12:30, which is 2 hours from now. So we're going to sell tickets up to 12:15. Tickets will be sold up to 12:15. Nitro Buggy A main practice. You guys will have an opportunity to practice at roughly 118, 120 for 15 minutes. There will be a Nitro A Buggy practice, and then the Nitro Buggy. So 120 will be a practice, and then the actual race will be at approximately 250 today. So you'll have about an hour in between to get those buggies back and ready for the A main. But if I could start getting my spec tire e-buggy guys to start putting those body clips on in the pits, tightening down those wheel nuts, and start thinking about making their way to the track here in about 3 minutes to get fired back up. And I will ask my e-buggy B main drivers to come back to the track. If you are back to back, maybe find somebody to volunteer for you right now before you make your way up to the track. But e-buggy B mainers, if you guys could start making your way back in a couple of minutes as well to the buckets to start marshaling. We're ready to get going here at 10:25, currently 10:23 on my clock. That means we are just about 2 minutes away from getting going in around, or I guess with the first A main of the day with Spec Tire e-buggy A main number 1. 10 minutes of Spec Tire action coming up. All right, so let's get our marshals out and a couple volunteer marshals as well. If your day has been done and you're just waiting to finish up some racing, I would appreciate some volunteer marshals all day. Spec Tire e-buggy drivers making their way up to the stand. So it's going to be that way kind of all day. Just if you got some free time, you're just loading up, come out, help us marshal, and we'll get through the race program. Remember, driver stand position by qualifying position. So if you're 11, 12, you're likely going to be shuffled down a little ways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get those premium spots off the driver's stand. We'll work the rest of the way down through. I got marshals there. 6, Dan? Yeah, perfect. And then I need a marshal on 1 and 8. 1 and 8. So Kaylee, if you're in reach of my voice, if you could come out to marshal. Looking for marshals on 1 and 8, and then I got my 1 through 9 coverage that I'm looking for.
Zach McIsaac.
All right, guys, track is yours.
Kobe
Track
Harris.
is yours.
Joe Scales. Heat name.
With the E electric class, I
Justin
will
Shockley.
not start this until I have a
AJ
marshal on
Rodriguez.
1 and 8. So just going to be looking for marshals on 1 and 8.
Kevin Lamb. Jordan Hestness. Brett Long. Dylan Allison. Matt Dortmund. Flint Nash. One minute to the start of the race.
All right, I still do need 2 marshals, guys. 2 marshals on 1 and 8. I know a lot of these guys are back-to-back. So if you know any of the drivers in this one, if you could help them out.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
1 and 8. Marshals on 1 and 8.
.30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, guys, straightaways closed. Go ahead and get them gridded up. I still need marshals on 1 and 8. I
15
can't go
seconds
anywhere
to
until
the
I
start
have
of the
somebody on
race.
1 and 8.
Less than
This
5.
is a 10-minute spec tire e-buggy race, but I need marshals on 1 and 8. Jared's coming out taking the 1. I just need a marshal on the 8. Marshal on the 8, please. The 8 is up front here, right in front of the kind of the driver's stand. Oh, all right. A non-racer even helping us out. Since I say corner marshal how you want to be corner marshaled, since she's not needing to be corner marshaled, she gets her kind of free reign of how you want to be corner marshaled. So be nice to her. Get the other direct, that kind of both. Yep, perfect. All right, so this is your spec tire e-buggy. This is your A main. A1 of 3. This is a 10-minute A main. So corner marshals are in position. Corner marshals ready, drivers ready. We're going racing less than 5. So a couple guys getting loose in that back section and going off track with a little bit of contact. But overall, that's a clean start. So we are racing here in your spec tire A main number 1. The dust stays down if the guys stay on the track. That hasn't been the case so far in this one. Lots of guys jumping off track. So, looks like Matt Dortmund already starting to pull away just a little bit in this one. Then it's a big train of cars in the 2, 3, 4, and the rest of the field right there with him. Dylan Allison, nice little move past Kobe. Kobe trying to look for a way back around. Jordan Hessen is right in the wing of both of those drivers. So your leader, Matt Dortman, track designer and builder, out in front of this one. Kobe in the 2. Jordan Hessen is looking for a way around Kobe. Dylan Allison right there in the mix as well. Things have settled in just a little bit now. Down the straightaway, 2, 3, and 4 in that bit of a battle. As Dortman pulling away from the rest of the field just a little bit. Good driving there by Dylan and Jordan. Everybody able to hold their line and avoid the contact. Heading into that back floater. It looks like Rhett Long going to be in that, what is that, 2, 3, 4, and 5 position. As he comes down the straightaway, Dortman continues to lead him around. Kobe with a nice move to the inside of Jordan there. And Jordan will fall back to the 3. Oh, then Jordan takes it away right there in that back section as well. So a little back and forth in the battle of 2 and 3. And they're actually kind of reeling in Matt a little bit out front here. Dortman had a big gap earlier. That gap has definitely closed a little bit now. Hessness trying to reel in Matt a little bit, starting from that 2 spot, shuffled back a little bit at the start, now working his way back up as both of those drivers head into the triple section and coming down the straightaway here. Well, look at the gap here. It is 2.3 seconds between those two drivers right now. Top to bottom, it's Matt, Jordan, Kobe, Rhett, Dylan, Zach McIsaac, Justin, Joe Scales, Flint, Kevin Lamb, Heath Nave, and AJ Rodriguez in this one. So if you are a back marker in this one, make sure you hold a wide racing line when a leader catches you. Continue on your race. Let them continue on their race. As your leader works down the straightaway right now, he goes 34.9 that time by. Fast lap is actually by your second place, Jordan Hessness, in that 34-second range. And Jordan makes a mistake, though, so he shuffles back. AJ, be aware, that's a leader right in front of you. That is not a battle for position. That is second place right in front of you. Oh, Rhett going to try and look inside of Jordan. Can't make it stick. So Matt Dortman down the straightaway. He is your current leader in this one. Second place is Kobe, Jordan, Rhett, Dylan, Zach, Joe, Justin, Kevin, Flint, Heath, and AJ right now the running order. Once again, back markers, if you could give leaders a little bit of space if they come up on you. Leaders, be aware, though, there are some tricky section in the track that drivers have to keep momentum going. That is not the spot to maybe make a pass, because they aren't going to shut down their entire race program to let you by necessarily. They just wait for a corner to take a wide racing line. Jordan shorts that double right there. That'll put Rhett Long by as Matt Dortman continues to run out in front. But Jordan and Rhett battle for a top 3 in this one down the straightaway. That is the battle for 2 and 3 into that sweeper section, that little gap right there. Rhett in the Mayako. Not sure exactly which buggy Jordan's running, but he's in that blue, red, and silver. Oh, Rhett way sliding it out wide there into the trip 6. Jordan to the inside. He has that spot. That's a good battle for that third. Oh, that one, Rhett will give that right back. Yeah, no harm there. And we are back underway That was a tough one. Jordan kind of slams, pops up. Rhett slides that nose right down underneath. But it is all good and clean racing now with 4 minutes to go. So we got 6 down, 4 to go. The gap for Matt Dortman out in front, 7.9 seconds. Then Rhett 3, now Jordan 3, Rhett Long 4, Dylan, Joe Scales in 6, Zach, Justin, Kevin, Flint, Heath, and AJ, the rest of the running order in this one. Nitro Buggy B main, B as in Bravo main, is up next. A little 15-minute battle for your Nitro Buggy guys up next. Matt Dortman now with a 9.5 second lead. Jordan in the 2. He's 2.7 back of Kobe. Kobe putting in a good run here from the 5 spot. Oh, and Kobe rolls it over just a little bit, but as he does, Jordan also jumps off track. Oh, and then Jordan with another mistake. Now he's got all sorts of chaos in there. That one is fair game there. Jordan trying to come way back in off track and clips a wheel of Rhett as he goes over. Caution on the big gap double. Caution on the big gap double. I got a car upside down. Oh, and another one. Rhett goes upside down. Other way too, other way. Oh, Rhett gets a tough break as both marshals were going the other direction. So that's going to shuffle him back way down the leaderboard as that is a big freight train of drivers. Kobe with another bobble there in the infield. It's going to let Jordan start to reel him in just a little bit. Oh, that's a tumbling Zach. Go ahead now, Zach. Go ahead. So Dylan and Jordan in a battle. That is for 3 and 4. Dylan currently with that spot. Joe Scales right there as well. It's a 3-car battle for 3, 4, and 5. Fast lap of the race actually belongs to Joe Scales. He has a third. I got a dead car. Got a dead car coming back towards the driver's stand in that little single. I have a dead car there. It looks like Heath's buggy potentially. It is. So Heath will pull that off. Get that car ready to go back for spec tire or for the open e-buggy.
1 minute left.
With 1 minute to go, let's see if we got any battles on the track. Oh yeah, Dylan and Jordan starting to catch Kobe down the straightaway. AJ, be aware you're in between 2, 3, and 4, battling 4 positions there with 45 seconds to go. Oh, Jordan goes upside down on that back section. Caution in the very back, right in front of the blind hill, and clear. Oh, Dylan with a big whip save there. He's starting to put the pressure on Kobe as they go into the back section of the track with 28 seconds to go. On the clock, Dylan a little bit out wide there. That's going to be a little fluff. Down the straightaway they go. 15 seconds, one more lap. Can Kobe hold off Dylan for that top 5 position? We're about to find out right now as they come over the 3 Blind Mice Hill. Dylan with a nice little gap right to the inside lane. He's gaining on Kobe a little bit so far through this lane, or through this lap. Race him to the line, drivers, race the line. When you cross the line, you are done. Matt Dortman will take the win here in a main number 1. And we fall back to the battle for 2 and 3. Kevin, be aware the battle for 2 is coming on your back wing right now. Oh, and then Dylan makes a bobble right there. So Kobe with just 1 corner to go, and he will drive it around and take that 2nd position. It looks like Scales is going to get by Jordan as well. Oh, he goes way wide. Jordan gets an opportunity, does not slide it back in. So Hessness will go 5th. Zach will come across in that 6th position. And race him to the line. Race him to the line. And that is a race. All stop, all done. All stop, all done.
Race is completed.
All right, so those drivers who are in the regular e-buggy, I'll
Up
let you go
next,
put those cars
race
on a
number 7,
charge. Then please come back to the
Nitro
track
buggy.
to Marshall.
B main.
Race 7, if you guys could hold for me just a second. Race 7, hold for me just a second. So if you are running both spec tire and regular e-buggy, go ahead and go throw those cars on the charge. Then come back to the track to Marshall. All right, this is going to be a 15-minute B main, so all electrics get 10, all nitros get 15, so it's pretty equal. There's a couple guys who are going to have to marshal a lot today, and I appreciate you guys, true warriors of the day. So marshals are heading back to their position. So race 7, track is yours. Race 7, track is yours.
2 minutes to the start of the race. Zach McIsaac. Gage Tweedy. Julian St. Marie. Joe Hudson. Evan Sides. Austin Azure. AJ Rodriguez.
So I need Matt Dortmund on the 1 bucket, please, once he gets his buggy plugged in.
1 minute to the start of the race.
And Flint, can I get you to the 8? And then we got great coverage here for your B main.
45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, straightaway is closed. Straightaway is closed. Let's get them on the grid, drivers. Let's get them on the grid, please. Straightaway is closed.
15 seconds to the start of the race.
I think I also made it so this knob
Less than 5.
Oh, okay, so I have to zoom too?
Yeah, so
Okay,
if you
that
turn it to the left, it goes in.
Which
To
one,
the
the
right,
big
it
ring?
goes out.
The larger ring?
Yeah,
Okay. How do I get it to tip
it doesn't
on
tip.
all axes?
There's no tip.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
'Cause
just,
when
I have
go
it.
left,
I have it.
it's on
Yeah,
the
I have
right,
it
so-
strapped to the
okay.
fence so it doesn't blow over. All right, drivers. Last chance for fuel. Last chance for fuel. I have no Travis Eider, but I do not see a 1 minute call. So clean them out. Drivers down. All right, so we are racing. That is a good, clean start to this one. My 9 drivers battling it out. 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe only 7 drivers actually making the start in this one. 7 for 2 on the track right now. Oh, your leader jumps off the back of the track there. on the far left-hand side of the track. Evan Sides also jumps off the track, but it's a long race, so little bobbles like that, as long as you're with the group, are not going to be detrimental and cause any sort of major issues. A couple of guys getting real wild early in this one. This is open tire, though, right now. This is the later main in the day, so these guys choosing what works best on this. Packed in, a little bit of polish, a little bit of grip, groove right now on the racetrack. As Gage, your TQ in the e-buggy class, had a lot of troubles in the nitro. No, Zach, that one's not going to count. Zach, I'm going to have to ask you to return that position, please. Thank you. So out in front, hanging on to this one, it is Austin Azure. Joe Hudson was up to the 2, but now it's going to be Gage. Hudson shuffled down to the 3rd. Then it's Evan Sides, Zach, and Julian in a battle. Then AJ as well. Travis and Jason not making the start. Oh, Gage rolls it over just a little bit there as they go into that big floater double in the back. Evan tries to get back in to the lane. Makes a bit of a mess there for Julian trying to get through. Oh, lots of mistakes here. Lots and lots of mistakes early in this one. Guys driving really hard when there's still 12 and a half minutes to go. A lot of uncharacteristic mistakes even potentially by some of these drivers. So hopefully their nerves start to settle in just a little bit. As it's Austin, Joe, and Gage. Gage now to the 2. What happened to Joe? Joe shuffled his way back. So Evan Side's going to be in the 3 now, but I don't know if Evan made a setup change or what, but that buggy not exactly in his favor right now. And just like that, I believe Julian will go by. Yeah, Evan's buggy seems really edgy. So it's Austin, Gage, Julian, Evan Side, Zach, AJ, Joe, Travis, and Jason, the rest of the running order. Joe Hudson with a little bit of a flame out has to come into pit lane. Get that buggy refired. So 4:30 down, 10:30 to go. 4:30 down, 10:30 to go. We are not in the windows yet for any sort of pit action. But Evan and Zach is now the battle on the track as Evan's lost touch with Julian and Gage just a little bit. Gage hanging on to that bump position, coming over onto the straightaway right now. That is second place, and as I do, he rolls it over with the nice announcer curse. Austin in that all-white TLR out in front, but Gage currently holding onto that bump position left-hand side of the track as he heads back into 3 Blind Mice Hill. And over that little skipper heading back into the Twisted 6. That is a very challenging section of the track. With 5:15 down, 9:45 to go. 5:15 down, 9:45 to go. So Gage looking good out there, holding on to that second bump position by 10.6 seconds over Julian. Austin Azure, though, 13 seconds up on the entire field right now. So without the adult beverage flu, Austin laying it down pretty good down the straightaway right now. Zach comes across running in that 5 spot, top to bottom. It's Azure, Tweedy, St. Marie, Sides, McIsaac, Rodriguez, Hudson, Eider, and Hunt. Oh, Julian rolls it over. So actually, Evan looks like he'll go by Julian. So Evan with a little bit of a rhythm now up into a top 3 position, 16 seconds back with 6:30 down, 8:30 to go. 6:30 down, 8:30 to go. Your leader continues to be Austin Azure. The best battle on the track is between Evan and Julian as they go down the drop down on the right-hand side, heading right in front of the loop kind of here. Evan big floats it out over that triple. Julian does as well. That's the battle for 3 and 4 down the straightaway. Austin Azure in for fuel. He's going to be the first driver coming in for that fuel stop. So 7:30 down, 7:30 to go. 7:30 down, 7:30 to go. Thank you, AJ. So Evan, I heard the call for Evan to come in for fuel, and he does right there, as does AJ. Julian will stay out, so he'll take over that 3rd position. We'll keep an eye on how the fuel stops go. Gage rolls it over at the top of the hill on the right up there. Gage coming in for fuel as well. So we got fuel stops for all of our leaders. Uh-oh, Gage looks like he might flame out there. Brendan gets him refired, and he's back underway. I got Zach dead at the end of pit lane as well. And Julian now in for fuel, so we'll watch to see how he gets in and out of there. Brendan with a quick squeeze and on his way. So Julian with the best fuel stop of the bunch. Gage going to come out. Gage had a 18-second advantage on the field there. We'll see if that gap, how much that gap has closed. As Gage comes across right there, he'll hang on to that 2nd spot even with that flame out. That gap's going to be much more like about 9 to 11 seconds now would be my guess. Yeah, 9.4 seconds is the gap now between those 2 drivers for that bump position. It's Austin out in front. Gage, Julian top 3. Evan, Zach top 5. AJ, Joe, Travis, and Jason. Gage rolls it over again. So now Julian starting to close in. That battle for 2 and 3 getting ever so tight. And Evan still in the mix as well with lots of racing to go. More than a full qualifier left. 5:45 to go. Julian with a little bit of a pipe clip there. Austin just kind of in between 3 and 4. He's just kind of hanging out. Knows he has that top spot. Just trying to avoid anything major just so he can find his way into the spec tire main. And I think Julian goes off the track to the right there. So Evan will go up to the 3 now as Gage continues to run in that 2. Gage making a lot less mistakes than 3 and 4 right now, with just about 10 down, 5 to go. So we got a full qualifier length left in this one. So still lots of stuff can happen here. As Evan comes down, he has that 3rd position now. 5.5 seconds, the gap between 2 and 3, that bump position. Austin with a 28-second advantage on the field. Gage trying to pull away a little bit. Last time by it was 5.5 seconds. We'll check the gap this time. Evan with a little bit of a bobble coming onto the straightaway, so it's going to be 6.7. So Gage definitely the quicker of the two that time through. That is the best battle on the track, Gage, Evan, and Julian right now. As Evan and Julian now right together on that back section of the track. As Evan goes way wide, that was destined from the start there, as Evan was kind of squirrely in and out of this twisted 6 heading into the back section of the track. So Julian will go by for the 3 now, and Evan will shuffle to the 4. So your leader in that all-white TLR with the red stickers, the red wheel nuts, Austin Azure, leading them around still. In this one, 20-second advantage with 2:45 to go. 2:45 to go. Oh, Gage flames out. Gage is dead on track in the back right section of the track. Keep it away from the loop. Keep it away from the loop, please. So now Evan running in that 3 comes across the line right here. He's actually going to go to the 2. Julian going to try and chase him down. Julian in the 3, 7.5 seconds. So what a major change here with 2:15 to go. That's just a late catastrophe for Gage. That's going to be really tough to overcome with just 2 to go. He's essentially a full lap back, so he's got to find a way to get by Evan cleanly.
2 minutes left.
And get all the way another lap around with 2 to go. $1:45 to go. Austin, Evan, Julian, Gage, AJ, Zach, Joe, Travis, and Jason. So the battle really still on this track is Evan and Julian. That is the one to watch. Evan way out wide there. So AJ and Joe, be aware you'll have leader there with you. Thank you, AJ. Oh, off track is that? No, that's not Julian off track. That is Joe off track. Julian drifting it around with Gage right behind him. 1:15 to go. Julian, it was 8.1 last time by, now 7.4. So Julian the faster of the 2 drivers that time by. However, Evan just needs to keep running. 8 seconds is a lot to ask for in a minute. 1 minute to go in this one. Your Nitro Buggy open tire B main. Joe Scales a busy man there at that section. As Evan down the straightaway again with 35 seconds to go. The gap, 7.4 last time. This time, 7 seconds. Yeah, now it's a 10-second gap, actually. So Julian a little bit slower on that one. With 10 seconds to go on the master clock. Julian's not going to get by for another lap in their current positioning. So I believe Evan is going to have 3 seconds. It's going to be a little bit of a victory lap run here for Evan Sides on his way to the 30-minute A main. Race him to the line, drivers. Race him to the line. Austin Azure will take the win here in the B main. And Gage will come across. Unfortunate flame out for Gage. Finishes in that 4th position. And Julian will come across in the first man out, 3rd position. As we wait for Evan to finish us up. And that is a race. All stop, all done. All stop, all done. So the bumps will go to Austin Azure and Evan Sides. Julian St. Marie goes 3rd. Julian third, Gage fourth. AJ rounds out your top 5, followed by Joe, Zach, Travis, and Jason Hunt. What a good finish there in race number 7, your Nitro Buggy B main. Austin Azure and Evan Sides will make the bump.
Up next, race number 8. E-Truggy. A 1 main.
So we'll let those guys get those cars down, and we'll start doing the E-Truggy main here. And once again, I'll need volunteer marshals following E-Truggy. So some of those guys who are also running Spec Tire Nitro Buggy might need a little bit of wrench time. So if you could volunteer for those guys who are running Spec Tire Nitro as well. Take a quick I have 5 drivers in this one, guys, so I will need 4 volunteers following this one. If I could get at least 6 or 7 marshals out here on this one to get good track coverage for those spec guys, for those B mainer guys who are also running the Spec Nitro class, which is up after this one. I'll take a little bit of a break in between 8 and 9 to let those guys continue to get ready, just like another 10 minutes after this. I should have had a little more break in the schedule. I didn't. I will put a little break after race 8 here before race 9, so make sure any of those guys who bumped, I know none of them were in that back-to-back, I believe, but there was a couple potentials for bumping into it. I think if I remember correctly, there was that. So only maybe 2 guys from that Spec Tire probably are back-to-back with that B main, Nitro B and Spec Tire B, but do our best to give them a little bit of opportunity to get in there. But if I could get some marshals back to the track, please. Joe, can you take 3, 8, or 9? Just take one of the 1 through 9 buckets. Some of those guys are going to be right back up. Oh, I was talking to the other Joe, but Joe, that works too, Joe. Yeah, sorry.
3, 8, or 9.
Joes and Joes. So I do need 1 on 9, and then I feel like I should be good. So E-Truggy, I'll give you guys the track, and we'll try and find a marshal for 9.
Andy Mace. Eric Phillips. Dylan Allison. Justin Shockley. Robert Bartlett.
Do 9, Joe. Are you going to marshal? 9. Over here, right at the start of the Twisted 6. Yeah, only 5 cars, so I feel I can get away with what I got here. Following this one, though, we will need a bunch of marshals. All right, straightaway is closed. Let's get them gridded up. Dylan Allison 1, Justin 2, Andy 3, Eric 4, and Robert in the 5.
45 seconds.
One wheel has to touch the white box, guys. All right, thank you. All right, quarter marshals are in position. Drivers ready, corners ready, less than 5. Ooh, Justin looks to the inside on the twisted 6 early. Falls off track. Oh, and then has a bad brake check there at the end. So he'll lose a spot to Andy. Justin tries to block past Andy. Oh, and then Eric Phillips coming the wrong direction down the straightaway, but it all works out there. Oh, that was Bartlett. I just keep every Truggy apparently out there this week. It is Eric's Truggy, I guess. Oh, your leader jumps off the back of the track. So some of the E-Truggy guys having a little bit of a challenge staying in that racing line. It looks like they're pretty planted when they're in the line. They get out of that, though. Things definitely start to get a little slidey. So Dylan Allison, Andy Mace, Justin Shockley, Eric Phillips, and Robert Bartlett right now the running order. Andy with a big pipe hit. Gets it shoved back into the racing surface, though. Nice little battle for 2 and 3 between Andy and Justin as they head into the twisted 6. Andy with a mistake. Justin's going to get by now, take over that second position as Dylan tries to run away with his TQ position. As he cleanly goes in through that double. Look through the field here, see a couple battles. Good little battle for 4 and 5 here between Eric and Robert. Oh, Eric spins it out. Robert collects. Those two battling towards the straightaway. Eric going to jump it off track, though. And that battle quickly becomes not a battle. Announcer curse fully getting Phillips there. Guys, a couple guys taking corners a little too deep, so I wonder if the forward bite is good and they're just driving it a little hard into some of these things. Or if they're unsure their grip they're going to get. Nope. Robert was crawling through that section and still jumped off the track, so it is what it is. Dylan continues to drive around in that top spot. Shockley trying to catch him. Shockley down the straightaway in that orange and green truck. Trying to reel in the Cotton Candy Cowboy out in front in that pink and blue. Over that backside goes your leader. Nice little section right there for Dylan. Beautiful moves and lines down through there. Justin coming down with 3:45 to go. So this is an 8-minute main. We are past the halfway point now, so a lot can happen. Shockley makes a little bit of a bobble, waiting for that battle to get going so we can keep calling that. But it's just not happening right now. Shockley keeps slipping back just a little bit. I do see he has a tire, that right rear, I believe, coming unglued a little bit, which could be some of the justification for some bobbles. Caution in the sweeper jump. Caution in the sweeper jump. Caution the sweeper jump. Cleared. Top to bottom, it's Dylan, Justin, Andy, Robert, and Eric, your running order. That gap has tightened just a little bit. Bartlett will go ahead and exit the track just to make sure the leaders could get by there. That was totally intentional. And Justin going to make a mistake in the Twisted Six. He's back underway chasing Dylan, though. 5:45 down, 2:15 to go. 2:15 to go. Justin, yeah, did not come into that jump square at all. Could see that before we hit the face that was going to be the end result there.
2 minutes left.
With 2 minutes to go. Dylan and Justin still the best battle on the track. We keep that watch of that as they're on the right-hand side now with 1:30 to go. 6:30 down, 1:30 to go. 6:30 down, 1:30 to go. The gap is 3.9 seconds with just about 75 seconds on the clock. Yeah, Dylan's been much cleaner through the Twisted Six than Justin all race long. Justin does reel in a few other sections there, but in through those three doubles in the middle of the track, Dylan with a definite advantage over Justin there with just under 1 minute to go. So I say that just so Shockley will put in his best section of the Twisted Six he's done all race. And now that gap maybe will close a little bit with 24 seconds to go on the clock. They're going to get by for one more lap. So we're going to see a battle for one more time through. Oh, and Shockley rolls it over right before that final lap. So he's going to need a little bit of help from Allison out in front. This one in A1 is signed, sealed, and delivered. Race him to the line, drivers. Race him to the line. Andy Mace will take third here in A1. Dylan Allison will get the win. And Justin Shockley will hang on to that second position. And that will be a race as we wait for Robert to finish up here. One more time. Big triple. Oh. Nice clean little run there for Bartlett on that final section, and that is a race. All stop, all done, all stop, all done.
The race is completed. Up next, race number 9.
All right, guys, so just hold for me just a second. We're going to let some of those guys who ran that Nitro B with a minute or two, and I'm going to find some time to ask for volunteer marshals on buckets 1 through 9. Buckets 1 through 5 should be covered, but I need 6, 7, 8, and 9. 6, 7, 8, and 9 volunteer marshals, please. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, we're in a hold real quick, guys. No rush on anything. We're just holding for a second. I do need marshals out, though. One through 9. Let's cover buckets 1 through 9, please. 10, 11, 12 are just bonuses, but I need 1 through 9 covered. Got that, so I need 4, 8, and 9. 4, 8, and 9. I need 3 more marshals. I should have 4 covered with one of my E-Truggy guys. I need 4, 8, and 9. Phillips, you can stay there. Phillips, stay there. Owen, go to 4. 4. I need 8 and 9 covered, guys. 8 and 9 covered, please. Zach McIsaac's got the 6 for me. Those E-Truggy guys, I do need you out to the track if you can. I need 9 and 8. 8 and 9. 8 and 9. I'm in a little bit of a hold, so these guys. Okay. It's a 20-minute main, drivers, or everybody in the pits. I do need 8 and 9. I need 8 and 9 covered, guys. I don't want to ask while they're running around, so I need marshals on 8 and 9. I can't go anywhere, guys, till I get marshals on 8 and 9. I know it's not the favorite thing for everybody to do, but if we could get 2 guys or gals on buckets 8 and 9, I can feel good about running this 20-minute main. Buckets 8 and 9, please. Rob will do 8. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the volunteers on that one. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that took so long. Race 9, track is yours.
Nate Clark, Jordan Hestness, Julian St. Marie, Jared Kazokria, Austin Azure, Dan Thomas, Brendan Bartlett, Matt Dortmund. Jacob Hudson, Rhett Long, Rick McCreary, Carson Phipps. 1 minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. 15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, straightaways closed. Straightaways closed. Bring them to the
Less
grid,
than
drivers.
5.
Bring them to the grid. I have a check from all drivers. Check from all drivers. Mechanics, last chance for fuel. Last chance for fuel. Drivers, clean them out. Down. Couple of tumbling in the back there, but it is going to keep everybody moving and connected. So that is a start to this one, your Spec Tire A main. So Carson Phipps going to be out in front, lead it around. Jacob Hudson at the 2 behind you. Rob, behind you, behind you. Hudson makes a mistake there in the Twisted Six. Rob, turn. Right there. Nope. Wait. Yep. All right, so we are keeping an eye on trying to the full field, letting guys get into a rhythm here. Track seems to be pretty good in the groove, seems to be really slick once you find that dust spot. So it is Carson Phipps, Dan Thomas, Brendan, Rick, and Austin. Now Jacob, your top 5. Nate, Austin, Matt, Julian, Rhett, Jared, and Jordan. Actually, Julian's going to be shuffled down to that 12th and final position now. So a good little battle up front still between Carson and Dan. Oh, Dan loses touch a little bit, so Dan and Brendan battling now. Looks like Dan tries to hold the line there on Brendan, and he's able to do that, but Brendan quickly back in that battle with Rick McCreary right in the back wing of those two. Oh, Brendan goes inside of Dan. Nice little move as Dan gets out in the fluff just a little bit. Oh, and then Dan clips the pipe, and Rick gets the worst of it. Catches up with him right there. All of these drivers currently on the same exact tire. It is the Lugs TQs in that blue and yellow compound. So right now it's all about car setup and driver skill in this one. It is not a tire game where somebody found the tire that will work. It is, they are all on the same compound and tread of tires. And it is fun to see out in front right now. Carson kind of walking away from the field a little bit. And then Dan, Rick, Jacob, and Nate in tow. Marshall in the sweeper section. Looks like Austin went upside down. That is actually probably the bumpiest section on the track, is that entrance to that sweeper. And that was just because there was a lot of water there early in the year and a lot of sawdust, which prevented that from kind of packing in this layout build. But overall, great track surface this weekend here at Post Fall, Idaho, at Monday's RC Raceway. We are in your Spec Tire Nitro Buggy 20-minute A main, and 4:30 of those minutes have gone down and expired. So Carson, Brendan, Dan, and Jacob right now the running order. Carson with about a 6.8 second advantage on the field. So Carson, Brendan, Dan, Jacob, Nate, your top five. Rick McCray running 6. Jordan, Jared, Rhett, Matt, Austin, and Julian right now. The rest of the running order here in Spec Tire Nitro. Love the hustle, Atkins. Well done off the back of the track there. Went the 8 car of Matt Dortmund, but Atkins quickly to get him back on the racing surface. So Carson and Brendan tightening up a little bit now. That gap is 4.6 seconds after a rough lap for Phipps. Just about 10 seconds to that 7-minute mark. And so we're going to start to see some fuel stops in that window here. And here it is, 7 down, 13 to go. 7 down, 13 to go. The 2 car of Brendan Bartlett comes across in front. Leader off track potentially there. So your leader, Jacob Hudson, it shows on the clock right now. Carson in the 2. We'll double check to see if Jacob might have got a quick lap in there. Now Carson, Jacob 1.4 back, Brendan 1.1 back. So Carson just has come back to the field a little bit. All right, so Carson out in front. Jacob, Hudson, Brendan, Nate, Rick McCreary 4, Dan Thomas 5, Rhett, Jordan, Jared, Austin, Matt, and Julian. So Hudson breaks right there. And so that'll put Carson in a battle with Brendan. Brendan coming up behind the back of Austin, I believe, there. So it's going to be Carson, Brendan, Nate, Rick, and Dan, your top 5. Rhett, Jordan, Jared, Austin, Jacob, Matt, and Julian. So 3 drivers have exited this one, it appears, already with 9:30 to go. Nate Clark currently running in that podium position right now. So Carson out in front, Brendan, Nate, and Rick all in a good little battle. Battle 2, 3, and 4, best battle on the track, actually. That is Brendan, Rick, and Nate Clark into that sweeper jump section. And into the Twisted Six goes Brendan. Rick is right there with him heading into the Twisted Six. Nate as well. They're all separated by a couple of seconds, but that is the best battle on the track. Jordan, Austin, and Jared also in a good battle for 7, 8, and 9. As they're coming down across the line with 8:10 to go on the race clock. We got one more fuel stop coming in this one. I heard a next lap fuel call for, oh, McCreary out. McCreary flames. Hold it high over the loop for me, Joe. Hold it high over the loop. Thank you. So with 7:45 to go, Rick had flamed out there, so he'll shuffle down the leaderboard out of the top 5 now. It's going to be Carson, Brendan, Nate. Guys running 33s and 34s with 7:15 to go. So somehow on this spec tire, these guys are still running nice, clean laps. So the leader in for fuel and out. Brendan, Nate, and Dan in a good battle still. Let me find that one. That's coming down the straightaway right here. Nate's going to be in that 2. Dan in the 3, Brendan in the 4, but Brendan will stay out, so he will go by for that second position now. Nate right outside behind him. Dan Thomas as well. They're all vying for podium positions with 6:30 to go on the clock. Carson, Nate, Dan, Brendan, Rhett, your top 5. Jordan, Austin, Jared, Rick, Jacob, your top 10. Then it's Matt and Julian. 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes to go. $14.15 down, 5:45 to go. Carson, Brendan, Nate, and Dan. Still that good little battle 2 through 4. For Brendan, Nate, and Dan. That is heading into the Twisted 6 right now. Brendan leaned him around. He has to single that second double. So Jordan, be aware you're in the battle between 2 and 3. No pressure yet, but if Nate catches you, give him a little bit of room. And Dan Thomas in the 4 right there as well with 5 to go. So Carson continuing to run out front, 14-second gap. Brendan, Nate, and Dan is where I'm going to stay. That battle, all 3 cars coming down the drop down right now. 2, 3, and 4 as they head back towards the driver's stand here with 4:30 to go. Austin and Jared also in a good battle, but I'm going to stay here with 2, 3, and 4 down the straightaway with Brendan, Nate, and Dan Thomas. So up over 3 Blind Mice Hill goes Brendan and Nate Clark. They're currently in your podium positions. Then it's Jordan in the mix there. Jordan running in that 8th position. And then Dan shuffled back a little bit. But Nate trying to stay with Brendan Bartlett with 4 minutes to go. Oh, Brendan catches a back marker coming down the drop down. So Nate Clark will go by. Dan Thomas going to close in on those guys just a little bit. But that'll move Nate to the 2. With 3:45 to go. McCreary goes, oh, Clark rolls it over. So Bartlett will go back by. So Clark rolls it over, coming down 3 Blind Mice Hill there. Quick corner marshal, though, has him back on Bartlett's rear wing, and Jordan's like, come on, guys. I keep letting you go, and then all of a sudden I'm back in the mix here. And Dan Thomas still trying to chase. Those guys are making mistakes, so Dan's closing in just a little bit. Oh, behind you, Mike. So Thomas rolls it over. Oh, unfortunate for Dan. Just as I was saying, he was catching up. The announcer curse bites him, and he shuffles back. Carson with an 18-second advantage out in front. The beautiful thing I love to see here, though, it is not 2-3 lap advantage like sometimes we see. That spec tire kind of keeping lap time similar, kind of keeping guys close here. 2:45 to go. Brendan and Nate still in a little bit of a battle, coming down that drop down on the right-hand side, back towards the driver's head. Oh, Brendan into the pipe now. Nate right on the back wing. Down the straightaway they go. 2:30 to go. Into that sweeper floater they go. Clark trying to get by Bartlett. They are currently 2 and 3. Both of them on the podium. Trying to vie for a bigger step is Nate, trying to reel in Bartlett. $2:15 to go. Bartlett regains composure, though, back out, starting to pull away from Nate just a little bit. Spec tire was built to get through most of the weekend, but 20 minutes straight run on a hard track right now. Going to be starting to test those long wears from TQ. The TQs, the Lugs Racing Tire. Thank you to our title sponsor. Right now, these guys still out here ripping 34-second laps, so they're holding up great through 18 minutes and 15 seconds of this one. Nate all over that wing of Bartlett. Carson Phipps is out in front. Carson, Brendan, and Nate, your top 3. Dan and Rhett, your top 5. Then it's Austin up to 6. Jordan, Jared, Rick, Jacob, Matt, and Julian. Oh, Nate has lost touch with Brendan just a little bit now as they head into this tricky jump section with just over 1 minute to go. So Nate's got some work to do.
1 minute left.
With 1 minute to go. That gap is 2.5 seconds. As Carson Phipps out in front on a 13-second advantage. So everybody's still on the same lap with 35 seconds to go. So Bartlett and Clark still the best battle on the track. 15 seconds, though. This is it. This is the final lap. Bartlett going to try and hold off Clark. Hessness and Azure. That is a battle for position, so you guys keep going at it. That is for 6th and 7th. Oh, Clark rolls it over. Oh, so Brendan now with plenty of breathing room. So your champion at Spec Tire is going to go to Carson Phipps in this one. As Brendan and Nate will battle out. Austin and Jordan battle out for 6 and 7. Making it fun all the way to the end here. Down the hill they go. Jordan to the inside. Nice little slide move by Jordan. Austin going to look for, oh, it gives him a little bit of a wheel, but Jordan able to recover, so Jordan will hang on to that spot as they drag race the line. Oh, Dan and Nate in a bit of a battle. Nate jumps to the inside, gives him the wheel, and he'll hang on for that 3rd spot. Got that buggy down side by side. Great runs there at the end. Dan had got by Nate. Nate made a last-ditch effort, got the buggy landed, used 8 wheels better than 4, but it was all side by side, so a clean pass. Good finish there for that podium. Nate Clark will hang on to the 3rd. It'll be Carson Phipps, your Spec Tire champion this weekend. Brendan Bartlett 2, Nate Clark 3, Dan 4, Red Long 5, Jordan, Austin, Jared, and Rick your top 10. Then Jacob, Matt, and Julian.
The race is completed. Up next, race number 10. E-Buggy. A 1 main. Brendan Bartlett. McCoy Starkey.
Hold for me a second, guys. Hold for me a sec. I'm going to give some transition time between that class and the next class. If you want to bring them back into the pits, drive them around, bring them into the pits, that'd be good. I just don't want you guys burning through batteries. I got a couple guys that are back-to-back, and I want to give them time to get up here. So I'm in a quick little holding pattern right now. Nemi. Austin says you have to corner for him. He's on 11. Just go to a 1 through 9 first. Find those ones that are open. Looks like a 2 is open up there. And then he's got the 2. So Nemi on the 9. Can you go to the 9 for me? And then that should be great coverage for me. Really enjoy the format. It does get a little tough on Sundays with only 6 classes. I don't have a lot of time in. Oh, Jesus. And I get that. I do my best to accommodate it, but I really like the limited class format. All right. right, guys, I'm going to give you your 2-minute warm-up now, Jordan, and then we'll ask for a 1-minute call after that, and we'll get Flint up here as well. So plenty of time for those guys to check some stuff. Jordan's earbud goes flying across the track. A 4 o'clock finish is really comfortable. Wow, who just really tried to take out Jared right there? Jared, yeah, if you can take that for Matt, he's not supposed to be marshaling. He's just filling in. So if you could take the 9 for him, he can go back to. Oh, you're good?
Kobe Harris.
Jared, you could go to the 10 next to Dan then, or the 11, whatever one's not covered there. Help with the drop downs.
One minute to the start of the race.
All right, guys, I do have a 1-minute call for Travis Heider. He's got a 1-minute call, so we got 1:50 now to the tone. 1:50, 1 minute has been added to the clock.
Jordan Hestness. One minute to the start of the race.
All right, straightaway is closed. Grid them up, drivers. Grid them up. Grid them up.
Flint Nash.
And again, I'll put an extra minute or two in between this race and Truggy for those guys who are back-to-back. They can kind of get those trucks fired and warmed up. It's plenty warm out here today, so shouldn't be too big of an issue. Let's see if everybody... Gage, if you give the double a try, you feel comfortable with it, I'll let you do one time on the start and to pull. It's an e-buggy, should be pretty easy.
Less than 5.
Travis should be 8, and Kevin should be 9, Flint should be 10, Zach 11, and Heath 12. All right, guys, this race cannot be won in the first corner. It sure can be lost, though, so let's keep it clean, drivers. Let's show them why we're in the A main. Corner marshals are all in place. Drivers are ready. Let's get ready to go racing. Sound of the tone. All right, so overall, a couple of guys make some mistakes there, but it is not a massive casualty event, so we are racing in E-Buggy. That one is live and on the track. Gage and Austin, 1 and 2. Austin now to the top spot. Gage in the 2. Oh, Gage rolls it over, so he's going to lose 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to shuffle down 3 positions to that 5th spot. Does your TQ. Oh, Brendan and Kobe side by side there. That was great driving by Brendan, able to stay off the pipe and not end up in a big wreck there. Oh, Zach rolls it over. McCoy makes a mistake in the trip. The twisted 6s, he's going to lose 3 positions. A couple of these guys just out there on that spec tire nitro, now on an open tire E-Buggy. Maybe second guessing their tire choice or happy with their tire choice. So down the straightaway, Austin Azure out in front trying to win E-Buggy here. There is a bit of a battle. Brendan Bartlett was able to go TQ and win in round number 1 here at Monday's RC Raceway. Austin Azure, though, your current points leader in the class, And right now he finds himself out in front of this one. And Bartlett started on the 6, so he did not get that TQ point. Gage got the TQ away from Austin, though. So lots of chances here for potential series champions on top of the event championship as well. Austin, Jordan, Gage, McCoy, Brendan, Matt, Kobe, Travis, the running order right now. Then it's Flint, Kevin, Zach, and Heath. Oh, Bartlett rolls it over. He gets a factory roll. Dortmund does not, so Dortmund gets back underway, though. Oh, the leader goes off the back of the track, does Austin. There's a little bit of chaos there. Didn't see what happened. But Andy out to get him. Oh, Travis rolls it over. Gage clips the wing there. So all sorts of chaos happening in there, and it really stems from that 6-pack. I felt the Twisted 6. I've talked to a couple drivers that it might actually be harder in e-buggy because of the instant response on the throttle curve. You can't just kind of roll into it. If you're pointed the wrong direction, that quick response of that throttle pulls you in a bad spot through the Twisted 6s. But it is still Austin Azure out in front. Hessness now closing in that 2 spot. Bartlett up to 3 now. That is not good news for Austin in the overall series championship. Kobe with a bobble. McCoy will go by now for the 4, though. Dortmund running in that 5th position. Then it's your TQ shuffled back in the 6th. This might have to be his throwaway, but there's lots of racing to go in this one. 6:45 to go. That's a tumbling Matt Dortmund. He makes a mistake in his own creation there through the Twisted 6s. Austin down the straightaway. Jordan right there with him. The gap last time was 2.7, now 3.1. Austin the quicker of those 2 cars. McCoy has moved up to 3 now. Brendan shuffled down to 4. Oh, Austin upside down, needing a marshal, and he gets it, but Hessness will go by for the top spot now. So Austin will slide to the 2, Jordan to the top spot. Down the drop down they go. Oh, Austin with a little bit of a look inside. Jordan had given up the position there. Not to be as they head down onto the straightaway. Austin right on that wing looking for a clean way by. Heath, be aware you have leader behind you. So once again, I'll have a kind of a slow roll into the next Nitro Truggy race, probably an extra 3-4 minutes in between. That'll hold their caution coming on the drop down, and it's clear. Oh, come on, marshals. There we go. And then after that, we have a break. After the 30-minute Nitro Truggy main, we will have a 30-minute break for everybody to regroup and get set for those A2 mains. So right now it's Austin Azure, Jordan, McCoy, Brendan, Kobe, your top 5. Gage, Matt, Travis, Zach, Kevin, Flint, and Heath, the rest of the running order in this one. Looks like Austin has gotten back by Jordan now. Yeah, that says so on the clock as well, but Austin makes a mistake. Robert with the quick move. Austin tries to jump down the downhill. It's a 3-car battle for the top spot here into that little twisted jump down the straightaway. Austin will make a mistake, so he'll have to fall back to 3. Cannot take advantage of that. That moves McCoy to the 2. So it's Jordan, McCoy, and Austin, 3-car battle into that back section of the track. Working around they go. Kevin, be aware you'll have leaders coming. Oh, upside down goes McCoy. So Brendan will shuffle through. Oh, excuse me, that wasn't McCoy. They went upside down. That was Hessness. Apologies for the wrong call out, but McCoy now to the top spot. Austin to the 2, Brendan to the 3, and Hessness down to the 4 with 4:15 to go. Austin takes a look inside. No, McCoy will hold on to it down the straightaway. Into that sweeper section they go. Top to bottom, it's McCoy, Austin, Brendan, Jordan, Kobe, Matt, Gage, Travis, Zach, Kevin, Heath, and Flint. All Brendan upside down over the 3 blind mice hill, so he'll lose 1 position and fall back a little bit. And now Austin goes to the outside of McCoy. New leader out in front, Austin Azure. McCoy right on that back wing, looking for a way around again. 3:45 to go on the race clock. Down onto the straightaway, McCoy going with the short line. It actually looked like it paid off pretty good right there. And maybe less chance for air in the future. Austin with a little bit of a pipe clip as he tries to close off McCoy. No, McCoy over 3 blind mice. Big move. He'll take over that spot. Then him and Austin come together just a little bit as they come into the twisted sixes. Heading into that back jump section, Austin with that move in that same little switchback section. He'll go to the top spot. So back and forth they go. Zach, be aware you have your leaders coming up on you now. Austin going to try and jump through. Flint and Zach get out of the way. Thank you. They get out very nice and cleanly. That is how it is done here in this one for back markers. And they're still in their battle now. 1 and 2 now have lost touch with third a little bit. Hessness has shuffled back just a bit. Heath, you'll have leaders on you again very, very shortly and very, very quickly. So McCoy out in front with 2:45 to go. Austin in the 2, Jordan 3, Brendan 4, and Kobe your top 5. Then Gage, Matt, Travis, Zach, Kevin, Heath, and Flint, the rest of the running order. Austin tries to shortcut that jump. Oh, McCoy goes upside down as well. The marshal was anticipating which car was going to crash, and then McCoy crashes late. And so it'll be Austin back to that top spot, and that'll bring Jordan Hessness back into that mix just a little bit. My back markers are doing a great job staying out of the way of the leaders. Let's keep that going, keep that rolling. 8 down, 2 to go. 8 down, 2 to go. Austin is your out in front. McCoy and Jordan, your top 3. Brendan's been holding on to that top spot. Your TQ running in that 5th position currently. So Austin with a 3.3 second advantage on McCoy right now with 1:40 to go on the race clock. Into the twisted sixes they go. This is only E-Buggy A-Main 1 of 3. We get to do this 2 more times this afternoon. And if it's anywhere close to as good as this, it's going to be a great day of E-Buggy racing here in this one. So Austin, McCoy, and Jordan still separated by about 8 seconds between the 3 of them. Then Brendan is another 5.7 seconds back. 1 minute on the race clock. McCoy has not closed that gap at all. It's 3.8 seconds between him and Austin. Top to bottom, it's Austin, McCoy, Jordan, Brendan, Gage, your top 5. Kobe, Matt, Zach, Kevin, and Heath Nave, your top 10. Flint and Travis, the rest of the running order. Looks like Eider off track. So 25 seconds to go in this one. Austin's going to get by for 1 more. McCoy shuffled back. I think he'll get by as well to keep Austin honest on this very last lap. With 15 seconds to go, he looks like in a good position to do just that. So we're going to get 1 more lap by for your leaders. Hessness doing all he can to catch the loop as well. It's going to be very, very close for him with 5 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Jordan will barely sneak by, so it's a 3-car battle for the win here in A-Main number 1. Flint, be aware you got leader right there with you in that all-white car. So your top 3 do get by. Austin making his way through the final couple of corners here. Race him to the line, drivers. Race him line. When you cross the line, you are done for E-Buggy A-Main number 1. So Austin Azure will hold on and get the win here in A-Main number 1. McCoy will roll it over here on the final corner, but he had a big enough gap that he'll hold off Jordan. And that is a race. All stop, all done. All stop, all done for your E-Buggy A-Main number 1 finish. What a run there for that full 10-minute show of Austin, McCoy, Jordan, and Brendan, Gage, Kobe, Matt, Zach, and Kevin. Hey, Shockley, I know you're going to go pit, but can you grab bucket 11 and take it to the end of the straightaway? So that way if we have plenty of marshals, we can have somebody marshal the straightaway there. All right, guys, so just keep him in the pits for a minute. Hold for a minute, please. I'm going to do a nice, slow transition. Outside. All right, guys, just about 12 minutes left for raffle purchases. Just about 12 minutes left for raffle as we make our slow transition into the Truggy main here.
I'm in a 30-minute race, and I've got raffle tickets to put in. What should I do?
Nate, oh no, that's a bad. Nate, will you swap Owen? Go to 4. Can you go to 4 for me? Hey, can you go to 4? Matt, can you come to 8? All right, guys, track is yours. Track is yours.
The race is completed. Up next, race number 11. Nitro Truggy. A main. Dylan Allison. Jared Kazokria. Michael Hudson. McCoy Starkey. Shane Brugskat. Jacob Hudson. Carson Phipps. One minute to the start of the race. Travis Itter. "45 seconds to the start of the race. Red Long. Danny Jolliffe. "30 seconds to the start of the race. Rob Monday. "15 seconds to the start of the race. Less
All right,
than
guys,
5.
straightaways closed.
Carson
Straightaways
Phipps.
closed. Bring them in,
Michael
please. Bring them
Hudson.
in.
Shane Brookscat.
Grid them up. Grid them up.
Danny Jolliffe. Eric Phillips. Rhett Long. Dylan Allison.
Can you make sure you go across the loop for me one more time, Dan? Jared, let him go across the loop for me, please. Thank you.
Rob Monday. Dan Thomas.
All right, on the one's going to be Jacob. Perfect. We're all in spots. Jared will just start back here in this no man's land. 1 minute call. 1 minute call, guys. You can do a lap, but please do not be very careful on the twisted six. Don't be flying through there, guys. Just kind of roll some of that. We got mechanics hanging out real close to that, so just take it real easy through that, please.
McCoy Starkey. Travis Itter.
All right, that 1 minute call has expired. Drivers, bring him back in, please. Bring him back in. All right, guys, last chance for fuel. Last chance for fuel. Clean them out. Down. That's a good start for a truggy class. We're going to take that one and say we are racing here in your A main. And then a couple of those big cars getting into small spaces. Let's go, guys. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up now. You start seeing a little bit of a good rhythm and groove here. Lots of racing to go in this one. This is a 30-minute Nitro Truck main. Then we have a 30-minute break for everybody to cool down, start working on cars. So we do have a break following this one. As they just show up. The 5 trucks right there just ended up in the exact same spot with Nate just in the catcher position, catching them all as they slid in there. And that's why we made the move, Nate. I apologize for you having to make the move, but that wasn't going to work. So Carson Phipps goes back to that top spot now. Jacob in the 2 from that TQ spot. That's a good little move, though. Carson going to avoid the contact. It's early. It is early in this one. Kevin, I've been told, too, to just make sure, Kevin Lamb, make sure you kind of watch the sweeper, too. Keep an eye on both the sweeper and, yeah, perfect. Thanks, bud. If I don't have that 11th bucket, you got to kind of keep an eye on both of those little positions. Okay. Hey, bucket 4, can you sit down on bucket 4? So good, clean run so far. These guys looking like they're pretty hooked up for the most part. It's a lot of truck and a lot of weight to get around these corners. Seems to be doing pretty good right now. Once again, the sweeper is about the spot on the track that's breaking up the most. So Carson, McCoy, and Jacob. Right now, your top three. Then it's Shane and Rhett, your top five. Michael running 6. Danny, Travis, Dylan, Dan, Eric, and Rob Monday. Big shout out again to Monday for the use of the facility. Came back here twice this year. It was so nice. We did it twice. So I appreciate all the help he's given us at the start of this year for getting this series off the ground. "30 minutes of nitro action on the track right now. We'll start to find your leader here and see if we can see exactly how it's going down. Oh, Marshall got pulled away from that spot to get another car. Travis goes upside down. Unfortunate break for him there. But Kobe quickly over to get him. Heard the call of the wild, Truggy upside down. So looks like McCoy and Carson, the 2 and 3 right there with them. Not quite sure who is in the all-white truck just yet. But thank you for your driving skills there. That was well done. Letting the leaders go through. As Carson hooks the pipe. Monday rolls off. Oh no. Rhett walking off the stand. That's not a good look early in a nitro main. Travis, you'll have leaders jumping over the top of you here. Five minutes down, 25 to go. Carson rolling it over, coming down that drop down hill. As your leader continues to be Jacob Hudson with McCoy in the 2 and Carson in the 3. Then it's going to be Michael Hudson in the 4, Shane Pregshot the 5, Dylan Allison 6, Dan, Travis, Danny, and Rhett, the rest of your top 10. Then it's Eric Phillips and Rob Monday. Phillips and Monday will move up as they come across the line this time as Rhett is off track. And Eric doing a good, your leader putting it up on the nose there. Oh, that's one way to do it. Eric putting out the air brakes on that one. Jacob Hudson and McCoy Starkey still close together. McCoy goes upside down, though, as I say that. So now Phipps is going to start reeling him in a little bit. As your leader works down the straightaway with no real pressure now with 6:25 down. 23:35 to go. McCoy with another mistake, so he'll lose second position now to Carson. That battle for 2 and 3. Oh, Dylan Allison now walking off the stand as well. So a couple of trucks out early in this one. So we keep an eye on Carson and McCoy as Jacob starts to pull away from those two a little bit. Michael Hudson still running 4 and Shane Pregshot rounding out your top 5. 7 down, 23 to go. 7 down, 23 to go. As we ride along with second place into that sweeper there. McCoy in third, right down following him. Eric, you do have leaders behind you. Caution, caution on the exit of the Twisted 6. Thank you, Dan. Your leader's actually in for fuel now. So your leader in for fuel. Yeah. And he is out and underway. Got some fuel stops coming for your leaders. So Jacob and Carson have closed the gap a little bit. Not sure if that was strictly because of the fuel stop if they haven't come in, but I'm pretty sure I saw Carson and McCoy come in. It was a 9-second gap, and that gap is definitely shrunk down now. Between 1 and 2, that gap's now down to 2.5 seconds actually. As your leader heads into that Twisted 6 section. Top to bottom, Jacob, Carson, McCoy, top 3. Michael and Shane, top 5. Then Dan, 6. Danny, 7. Travis, Eric, and Rob Monday, the rest of the top 10. Nine down, 21 to go. 9 down, 21 to go. One and two battling into that double now. Shane, you got a gap between those guys. Just be aware if they do catch you, give them a little bit of room to breathe. But they are not there yet. But it is Jacob and Carson. And then McCoy running in that 3 spot. So your TQ and the 4th qualifier, Carson, usually a dominant truggy driver, struggled a little bit in qualifying yesterday, but from that 4 spot finds himself running in that 2 now. Oh, comes off the pipe, gets that car twisted a little bit sideways. So Carson still sits about 2.2 seconds back of your leader now. Oh, and he jumps off track, and Eric says, hey, that looked like a good line. Let me try that one too. And follows him right there. Thank you, Shane. As Jacob gets by with a little bit of open track in front of him now. So 1 and 2 separated by a little bit of a gap now, but McCoy and Carson starting to tighten up just a little bit. Those 2 guys are into this Twisted 6 right now, and exiting it is Carson with McCoy right behind him as Jacob puts a little bit of gap now between him and the rest of the field. Oh, a mistake out of Phipps. That'll put McCoy now to that 2nd position. So Jacob continuing to stretch it out a little bit. Jacob heading into that backside floater. 2nd place, McCoy Starkey still in the Twisted 6s. Then it's Carson running 3. Michael Hudson in the 4. Shane Pragshaw 5. Dan Thomas in the 6. Danny Joliffe 7. Travis Eider 8. Eric Phillips 9. And Rob Monday in the 10. Oh, Carson gets back by McCoy. So McCoy and Carson down the straightaway. That battle for 2 continues on. Some Truggy's going to have just some slicks left at the end of this 30 main for sure. As the battle for 2 continues, as Jacob now with a 10-second advantage on the rest of the field. 12:15 down, 12:15 down, 17:45 to go. 17:45 to go. Shane and Michael Hudson in a good little battle. Shane gets by Hudson. That battle's kind of heading in that back section of the track. Shane in the yellow wheels. Hudson also in the yellow wheels. I'm going to go back to that battle for the 2. And oh, right there, McCoy rolls it over. As you see Carson jumping through that background view. Jacob Hudson with almost an 11-second advantage on the field now. And Carson has the gap between him and Starkey. Here comes Starkey now. Separated just a little bit. So we'll go back to your leader on the right-hand side of the track here, coming down that drop down. And that is Jacob Hudson in that orange and green truck. Carson and McCoy still a decent battle. Shane and Hudson also still a decent battle. But those are less than 5-second battles. Nobody on that green arrow or the green connection that we like to see on the computer screen, which means they are sub 2 seconds apart usually. The red brackets on my computer are a 5-second battle. So we really like to see those sub 3-second battles more than the sub 5s. The sub 5s could be a few corners apart on the track. 14-10 down, 15:50 to go. Approaching halfway here. We'll start to see what kind of tire compound choices some of these guys made and how that's going to play out as we go into the later stages of this one. $15 down, 15 to go. Halfway home in this one. Oh, your leader in for fuel now. And out and underway he goes. A little bit of a breeze going through. It will help keep that dust moving off of the racing surface. A couple of cars getting tangled. Shockley says, "You get out of here. Get out. Cut." Keeping an eye on some battles to develop. McCoy and Carson has tightened up a little bit. Let me see if I can find those guys on the track. Yeah, that's down the straightaway right there. That is McCoy in the 2, Carson in the 3 as they head to the backside of the track up over 3 Blind Mice Hill. Oh, Carson with a bobble, requiring a marshal. So we stay with McCoy riding in the 2 right now. So 17-15 down, 12:45 to go. 12:45 to go in this one as we go back with your leader, Jacob Hudson, in that orange and green, or orange, yellow, and blue, I should say. White wheels into that back section of the track. He is your top qualifier, looking to go wire to wire kind of in this one. Carson was able to get out in front for a short period of time, but Jacob has regained that composure. We're going to do a little top to bottom order with 12:15 to go on the race clock. It's going to be Jacob, McCoy, Carson, Shane, Michael, Dan, Danny, Travis, Eric, Rob, Dylan, and Rhett, the rest of the running order in this one. It's a 13-second advantage for your leader now. So under 12 to go, 11:45 to go, 11:45 to go. Travis walking off the stand, so his day is done in the truggy class. Best battle on the track, Dan Thomas and Danny Joliffe, actually. I don't know exactly where on the track those guys are currently. Oh, Danny rolled it over, so he falls away from Dan. $10:45 to go, 10:45 to go, 19:15 down, 10:45 to go. Your leader works through the twisted sixes through some back markers. He's got Rob right there, able to throttle through and out of it. Eric jumps off track in the twisted sixes. No real battles on the track. This is your Nitro Truggy A main right now with 10:15 to go on the race clock. 10:15. Go back to your leader here. As he comes down the straightaway, Jacob Hudson starting to put Carson a lap down. Carson currently running in that third position. Down the drop down goes your leader with 9:20 to go. So once again, the raffle prizes are being drawn at this break. We'll go ahead and just tape those numbers onto onto the prizes. You can collect it anytime today. Appreciate everybody supporting us with your entries and with any extra dollars, gear purchase, and all that sort of stuff. We appreciate you. Ventured out on our own a couple of years ago after leaving the NCT in 2017, after running the director program there for probably about 7 years or over 7 years. Handed the reins off in that and ventured out on my own and have had a blast putting on some of these events, and appreciate each and every one of you for supporting us out here as well. As Jacob continues to run out in front, McCoy 2, Carson on that final podium position. Shane Pragueshot in the 3, Michael Hudson 5, Pragueshot in the 4, Hudson 5. Then Dan, Danny, Eric, Rob, and Travis, the rest of the top 10 there. Then Dylan and Rhett off track in this one. Go, gotta go, man. I need you out there. Caution heading to the back of the track there. You gotta build the confidence, I understand. Truggies can be scary. They scare me. 7:45 to go. We're gonna go to full pit lane cam here. Get these final fuel stops to go with 7:35 on the clock. Oh, we got a runner. I don't know if there's a vehicle down somewhere, but we have a runner. right, that should be it for the pit needs. So we go full cam here. So Jacob continuing to run around. Got Hudson brothers, and then the younger generation of Hudson out in front right now. Michael Hudson's always been a big supporter of the programs we run, and I appreciate him to coming out as many as he can make it. Jacob with a pretty big gap now, 20.1 seconds with 6 minutes to go. Nitro Truggy on the track right now. Reminder, half-hour break following this race, half-hour break following this race. Waiting for a battle to show up on the computer screen. I do not have one right now, so we continue to ride along with your leader in that white, blue, yellow, and orange truck with the white wheels, black wing. That is your leader, Jacob Hudson, using the Truggy tires to his advantage there as he motocrosses over the side of that pipe, but still able to make that jump cleanly. You're good. He's on me, Eric. Less than 5 to go. Less than 5 to go. Everybody in a nice little rhythm now. No real battles developing on the track. This is kind of what we expect to see at the end of a 30-minute main. Happens a lot in Nitro. That's why it's always a privilege when you get those last couple of lap battles in a 30-minute main that we were kind of seeing out of that Spec Tire 20-minute run. Spec Tire keeping all those lap times really close together. Oh, your leader finally makes a bobble after we're following him around for a while. He jumps off the back of the track. He has a 25-second advantage, though, so that little 3-4 second bobble not going to be the end of his world at all. With 3:30 to go on the race clock. Jacob, McCoy, Carson, your top three. Shane and Michael Hudson, 4, 5. And then Dan Thomas, Danny Joliffe, 6, 7. Eric Phillips and Rob Monday, 8, 9. Carson going single double in the back section. That was a fun little one. Instead of double up, roll up the hill, went single double after getting corner marshaled there. As we follow around with second place here, Carson Phipps on camera now. 2 minutes to go. 2 to go.
2 minutes left.
Danny gives the radio a good old swing, and that will end his night with the Truggy just about a minute 45 short of finale. Running in that 7th position. He has 2 laps on Eric Phillips, so we'll see if Eric can gain another position here on his top 10 run. We find your leader in the back of the track again there. Oh, it's a couple of times now. Jacob has driven off the back of the track. Gap down to 21. Nothing really to be alarmed about. But likely tires wearing down a little bit. Car's pushing out a little bit further than he expects it to. 1 to go.
1 minute left.
.33 seconds left on the clock, so Jacob might get by for 1 more lap. Oh, Dan Thomas flames out. And that, yeah, I'd have the same pace of walk if I was Jared, because won't be able to get that thing refired by the time the tone goes off. But Dan got to put in a good little run, starting from the back of the field. Hannah, I wouldn't worry about it. There's only 8 seconds left. You're not going to be able to refire. And the race clock has expired. Race him to the line, drivers. Race him to the line. When you cross the line, you are done. So Jacob Hudson out on a victory lap. It looks like Carson Phipps is going to hang on to that 3rd position. And McCoy, sideways wing and all, will hang on to a 2nd spot on the podium. As he comes across the line. But your champion, WERC Series, round number 3 is going to go to Jacob Hudson. Great job, everybody. Great job. We are now in a 30-minute quiet period. Track is closed. Let's go at 110. 110. So I'm about 10 minutes behind schedule, which is to be expected on Mains Day. And I've given a little bit more break. So we're about 10 minutes behind schedule. So we're going to do a 110 start for A main number 2 of Spec Tire
The race
E-Buggy.
is completed. Up next, race number 12. Spec Tire E-Buggy.
110 start. 110 start. All marshals and drivers should be back to the track, on the track at 110.